Okay, good evening, everyone. We're here for the regular council meeting of July 17th. We'll go with quick introductions and we'll jump right into it. We have with us Councillor Joel One. Evening. Councillor Shane Pelletier. Evening. CEO Mitch DeBell.
Good evening.
Myself, Chris Ewan. Councillor Jason Bodnerchuk. Good evening. Assistant CEO Dominic Lemoine.
Good evening.
And Councillor Janine Boulanger.
Good evening.
Thank you. So without further ado, we'll get into it. Before public hearings come, then I will just, right before then, I'll explain how the public hearing process works for tonight, and the procedures of the chair and whatnot. So item number one, meeting called to order. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine second, Councillor Bodnerchuk. Anything before we open the meeting? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That's carried. I'll open the meeting at 7:01 p.m. Item two, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnerchuk, second, Councillor Pelletier. Thank you. We are good for as is, or did council want to jump right into the public hearings first? No, we could jump right into it. So we'll switch and go to item 6 first, Mr. CEO. Without anything else to change or edit? No, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you. So moving on, we're going to public hearings. So the way public hearings work for the Arm of Ridshot is I will read out the item number and then the CEO will have a few sentences to speak on. And then I will open the public hearing. At that time, I'll ask any presentation or the applicant if they'd like to speak. So they would come up and then make their presentation, or they'd be online and make the presentation. If they didn't want to say anything, they don't have to, no obligation, but they're very welcome to. It does alleviate some of the questions council or the public might have. After that, I will ask if there's anyone in person that would like to speak in favor, online that would like to speak in favor, and on the phone that would like to speak in favor. If you're in person, you would just raise your hand or come up to the front if there's no one there and give us your name. If you're online or on the phone, you would just unmute yourself or turn on your video if you can, and give us your name as well. After that, I will then ask if there's anyone wishing to speak against in person, same procedure, online or on the phone. After that, we would then do one last call. If there's anyone wishing to ask any general questions, speak in favor, against, online, on the phone, or in person, they can then do so. That will be the last call. And then I will close the public hearing, and council's time for discussion and debate will happen. So that is not time for the gallery or any public to participate. That's council's time to make any, ask any questions before the vote. So without further ado, 6.1.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
just a reminder to council, if you have questions to ask of the presenters,
Yes.
please do so at that time. Once the public hearing is closed, it creates havoc for our mayor.
Yes, thank you very much. And we don't need the mayor to go crazy here. He's already losing his hair fast enough. So 6.1.1 V8 2024 Lori and Dave Neufeld 2598 PR 200.
The proposal is to vary the minimum site width requirement from 50 feet to 33 feet as a condition of subdivision on file number 4165-21-8101.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:04 p.m. Is there anyone wishing to make application or speak with a further, or sorry, make presentation? Not really. Not right now. Okay. Okay. Anyone wishing to speak in favor, online, on the phone, or in person? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against, in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received against?
Nothing against.
Okay, one final call. Is there anyone that has any general questions, comments, online, on the phone, in person, as well as anyone wishing to speak in favor or against? Last call. Any delays there? None. Okay, I will close the public hearing at 7:05 p.m. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnerchuk, second, Councillor Lemoine. Thank you.
Therefore, be resolved that variation application V8 2024 is approved with no conditions.
I will open up for council debate discussion. Council, anything to comment on? This was seen at planning, went through it. Pretty easy and simple. Councillor Boulanger, anything?
No, all good here.
Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. 5-0. Thank you. That's carried. 5-0. I'll give a bit of a delay. Okay, thank you. Dave, you don't have to stay if you don't want to. You're welcome to leave now.
I can go.
Yep.
Thank you. You're welcome. See you guys.
Thanks, Dave. Moving on to 6.1.2 V9 2024 Guylaine and David Bojali, 609 Main Street.
The proposal is to vary the location of the detached accessory building from the rear yard to the front yard for the purpose of building a 26 by 40 garage in a residential general 8,000 square foot zone, RG8.
Perfect. I will open the public hearing at 7:06 PM. Is there anyone wishing to make a presentation? Come on up. Yeah, have a seat, yeah. Or stand, whatever you're comfortable with.
Basically, I'm Guylaine Bojali, and we're asking for the variation because the way our lot is unique, it's a long driveway. We're set back from Main Street and we don't have access to the rear with the driveway. And literally our front yard, we're surrounded by the neighbors' garages. Sorry, I'm just a bit nervous. And that's why we're asking for the variation.
Sounds good. Awesome, thank you. I'm always nervous, just saying. Council, do you have any questions for the applicant? No? Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor? In person, online, or on the phone? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received?
Anyone wishing to speak against in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received against?
Nothing received?
Anyone wishing to ask any questions, make any comments, speak in favor or against in person, online, or on the phone? Okay, I'll close the public hearing at 7:07 PM. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelche, second. Councillor Lemoine, thank you.
Therefore, be resolved that variation application V9 2024 is approved with the following conditions: that the applicant must obtain a building permit from the Arm of Richot office for the purpose of the building, and 2, applicant must submit all building plans.
Thank you. I'll open it for council debate discussion. Council, anything to discuss?
No, pretty straightforward on that one.
Councillor Blanchet? I think we lost her. Yeah, we lost her.
Hi, yes, no, I'm back. I lost you guys, but I'm back. All good here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you for that. Oh, sorry. I guess carried 5-all. Thank you. Thank you. You're more than welcome to leave, you guys, unless you want to watch this great entertaining evening. We'll go to, I'm just wondering, should we maybe do 6.2.2 first, or is it too late? Do Butcher first and then go into the Midwest Poultry?
No, do 6, 2, 1.
Yeah, go on first. Okay, so 6.2.1, C1, C12, 2024 Midwest Poultry LTD 2312 and 2336 Falk Road.
Proposal is to allow a conditional use for the expansion of an existing livestock operation from 340 animal units to 500 animal units. The animal units are consisting of broiler chickens.
Perfect. I will open the public hearing at 7:09 PM. Is there anyone wishing to make presentation? Come on up. Long time no see.
So most of us here are from the province, but just because my name is Nonge Aliaga and I'm the Livestock Technical Review Committee Coordinator, and I've seen you guys before. So I'll try and be brief, but I do want to make sure that people have an idea of what these guys have gone through to get to this place. So in order to do the technical review process, there's 5 provincial departments that participate in the process. And I'm just going to go quickly through this report that you guys received. So on page 2 of the report, it describes the departments: the Agriculture, Department of Environment and Climate Change, Department of Economic Development, Investment, Trade and Natural Resources, the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, and the department that I'm part of, which is Municipal and Northern Relations. And the contact information for the Technical Review Committee is on page 19 of the report. With me today from the province and available to answer any questions that council may have are Petra Loro, who's ecosystem specialist for livestock with the Department of Agriculture, Julie Fraze, who's the newest member of our committee and environmental livestock coordinator with environment and climate change, and Elise Denhair, who's community planner with municipal and northern relations. So,
You guys are literally the crowd tonight, so welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the purpose of the TRC process is to provide information to council so that they can make an informed decision on livestock operations, and also to provide a forum where the public can share concerns and the proponent can respond to them. In this case, the applicant has gone through all these stages that I show in the flow chart here, and today's hearing is that red and green spot at the bottom. So they've gone through a lot of back and forth, and the public commenting happened, which is the red block there, and then the report was written. So they completed their application. The application was accepted March 22nd. Public review period was between May 28th and April 28th, and the TRC report was submitted to council on May 31st. So we are trying to get this completed and so that they can construct. So the operation here is an existing broiler operation, as the CAO explained, and they're asking for a new conditional use order to permit 100,000 broiler chickens or 500 animal units. And if approved, they will expand their two buildings about 100 feet to the north. So they're not building new buildings, they're just expanding existing ones. If approved, the operation, I already said that. There's a provision for livestock operation to expand its animal housing without a provincial technical review, but in this case, the technical review was required because the increase in animal units from 340 animal units to 500 is more than the 15% permitted without a review. So they had to go through the whole process. However, the overall changes to the operation are minimal. And details have been available to everyone on the TRC website since March. I wanted to emphasize that in order for the province to do a technical review, the proponent was required to provide the province with information related to every critical aspect of their proposal. And there are provincial safeguards and requirements related to every aspect of a livestock operation. So on page 8 of the report, there's a table which goes through each one of these things that they're required to submit. And an example would be that item 3 describes that with the barn expansions, they have to get building permits. It also notes that the operation meets the separation distances for the RM of Richat zoning bylaw, so they don't need a variance of any kind. And item 10 notes that the operation won't be spreading any manure on fields and will continue to transfer the manure to a third party. So those are critical pieces for this operation. In the public commenting section, page 14 is a summary of public comments. There were 7 received. They were all concerns. 4 of them were from outside the RM. The most common concern was regarding odor, and they also talked about the strain on the water table and sustainability of animal-based agriculture, and then the proximity to residential areas, which really is Niverville. The town of Niverville suggested that a variance should be required, but the conditional use application is a requirement of the RM of Richat zoning bylaw, and areas outside of Richat can't be considered for a variance. So after the commenting period, all comments are forwarded to the applicant, and then they're given an opportunity to respond. And on page 18 of the report is the applicant's response that they provided. Page 15 is the conclusions and recommendations. If a proposal has reached this stage, it means that the province has no outstanding technical concerns with the proposal. There are some recommended actions to council. These are standard recommendations based on the Planning Act. And we do ask that council ensures that they include in their resolution that the proponent has the right to appeal, right to appeal a council rejection or a condition of approval to the municipal board. If that happens, the proponent has 14 days from the notice of the municipal decision to make the appeal. We would be happy to answer any questions that council might have regarding the proposal or the TRC process.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Council, do you have any Questions or comments?
Done here.
I'll figure out my time.
Yeah, so it's just an extension of about 100 feet on those barns?
Yeah.
Right.
To the north.
I think that's it. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor, in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received in favor?
Thing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received?
Nothing received other than the objections that are included in the TRC report.
Okay. For time, we will not. Good with that. We have that on file. Last call. Anyone have any general questions, comments, speak in favor, against, in person, online, or on the phone? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:16 PM. Do I have a mover? Counselor Bodnar, second.
Counselor Belanger.
Belanger, just trying to get her on there. Okay,
Therefore, be it resolved that conditional use application C12-2024 is approved, subject to the following conditions: that the applicant must sign a confirmation letter accepting the terms of the order. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and any non-compliance may cause issues to revoke the conditional use at any time.
thank you. I'll open up for council debate, discussion. Council, anything to add, comment on, question? Nothing? Councilor Belanger?
No, nothing here.
No, you can expect.
Okay. Yep, sounds good. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That is carried 5-0. The gallery may leave. Yeah, we will, we'll just have a 1-minute break here while you guys get ready, so you guys don't have to stay for the 3-hour grilling meeting we're about to have after. This council's good to resume. Okay, going back into the public hearing, 6.2.2 C13 2024 Laura Botcher, 274 Calabay.
The proposal is to allow a home-based business in the RR rural residential zone consisting of growing and harvesting chamomile for resale purposes.
Perfect. Thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:19 PM. Is there anyone wishing to make presentation? Nothing yet. Anyone wishing to speak in favor, in person, online, or on the phone? Anything? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Joshua.
In favor.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Any-
hi.
Anything?
Sure.
Oh, is that you, Laura? Laura, you're breaking up really bad. You can keep your video off and it might help the service.
Okay.
Did you have anything to say, Laura, or you're just in favor?
So growing chamomile and so just getting oil and gonna make.
So we can't, you're breaking up really bad, Laura. We've got almost zero communication with you. Is there a phone number we can call you at? So if you have any comments or things you want to say, we can dial you in.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better. Keep talking for about 10 seconds.
Hi, can you hear me now? I lost my voice, so it could be that.
Yeah, we'll try and listen. It's a little choppy, but go ahead.
Okay, I was just explaining it. Growing chamomile in the garden backyard, and then to make soaps and lotions with it, basically, and sell it.
Okay, perfect. Council, do you have any questions for Laura?
The sales would
Hi
be,
there, it's Janine Blanchet.
Go ahead, Jeanette.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I have a question about, you're not anticipating people coming to your house like a retail operation, is that correct?
Yeah, correct. No, it would not be a retail operation at my house. No. And if I ended up needing, or if it was a success, then the only thing I would end up doing is hiring my daughter to help me. But that's about it. Just more on the side market garden kind of thing. So I would sell it outside of the home.
Anything else, Councillor Blanchet?
Perfect, thank you. Nope,
Thank you
that's
very
great, that was it.
Perfect. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anything received in favor?
nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against in person, online or on the phone? Anything received against?
Received against, we received an email from Alexandra Ziegler. Council has that email. Should I read it out loud?
I
Or
think that's actually on the wrong one.
it's for, well, the email is against the proposal of C14 and C13.
Okay.
As you read it, it might be more related to C14, but there's maybe some concerns related to C13 as well.
I'm good with not reading it out, Council.
But council does have that letter in front of them, so.
Council's good without it, thank you. Final call, anyone have any general questions, want to make any comments, speak in favor or against, online, on the phone or in person? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:23 PM. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelche, second. Councillor Lemoine. Lemoine.
Therefore, be resolved that conditional use C13 2024 is approved with the following conditions. That this use shall not be noxious, offensive, or hazardous by reason of emissions or production of odor, dust, refuse, matter, waste, vapor, gas, smoke, vibrations, or noise, and shall not create a nuisance beyond the property sightline. Applicant shall comply with the municipal noise bylaw 4-2023. Any outdoor lighting must be located, arranged, or shielded so that no light is directed at the neighboring property. 4, the items stored outdoors shall be kept in tidy manner so not to create any unsightly appearance. 5, any signage shall comply with the municipal zoning bylaw 9-2019, part 11. And 6, the applicant shall sign a signed confirmation letter accepting the terms of the order. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and any non-compliance issues may be caused to revoke the conditional use at any time.
Thank you. I'll open for council debate. Council, do you have anything to discuss, comments, questions?
No, I think this is a pretty simple one.
That's what you're gonna say, Councilor?
Yes. Pretty much harvesting and garden.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is carried 5-all. Thank you. Moving on to 6.2.3, C14 2024, Laura Botcher, 274 Talabay.
The proposal is to allow a home-based business in a rural residential zone consisting of a bed and breakfast.
I will open the public hearing at 7:25 PM. Is there anyone wishing to make presentation?
Yes. And can you hear me now? It's
We can
Laura.
hear you. Yeah, you're a little pixelated though, but I think you're okay. So go ahead.
Okay, sorry, my husband Joshua it should be on there too, Joshua and Laura Betcher. Unless I must have just filled up my name, but he's here to speak to. And it's not so to correct, it's not a it's not a bed and breakfast. It would be a short-term rental, as in like the short-term property sites like VRBO and Airbnb. And we have even had movie producers wanting to rent the home for a bit, and so especially when we go away in the winter, that kind of thing, that we can be having someone stay here and an income while we are away, especially. But yeah, it would be a short-term rental property, VRBO, Airbnb, to clarify.
Thank you, Council. Do you have any comments or questions for Laura or Joshua?
We don't have provisions for short-term rental. It's bed and breakfast or nothing right now.
Yeah, so Laura, I don't know if you heard that, but, the way the municipality has their zone, is it zoning bylaw? Their zoning bylaw, it, essentially VRBOs wouldn't work. I think your bed and
Okay.
breakfast would be the only option you could take, which
Okay.
technically is Airbnb, from my understanding. That's how Airbnb works, but VRBO wouldn't work like that because the resident has to reside, the owner of the property has to reside in the home. Is that right?
And be in the home.
And be in the home during the rental process. So that's our biggest concern with that. So that's where we're sitting.
Okay, so okay, I didn't hear about that when I was applying for it, or there was no mention of that. Okay, so we would have to be in the home and rent it out, and that's the only way, or
Yeah, essentially at this time, there's no other zoning that would allow some kind of, I'll keep calling it VRBO, a VRBO style rental, where you wouldn't have to be in the home, where vacation, let's say in Paris in the winter, wherever you go, and rent out your home for a month, then that just wouldn't fly here. We've never experienced that. We've never seen that. And I don't think there's an appetite at this time to entertain it, but it'd be something that we could review at our zoning bylaw meeting or anytime we wanted to update it. But right now, we're not looking for that, or council's not entertaining that at this time. But definitely an Airbnb or bed and breakfast style. I'll call it bed and breakfast because that's what it is. Bed and breakfast style is something Richot does currently. We've seen, I think, multiple throughout Richot, from my understanding. And we're very much open to the bed and breakfast style where there's a resident on site and they're allowing someone into their home to appreciate the beauty of Richot and the residents that they own.
okay. Well, we could go under the bed and breakfast. We could pass that through if
Yeah.
maybe.
So just so you are understanding, I think Mr. Seal might be able to clarify, but it would say in your conditions that the resident would have to be on site during rental periods, right, Mr.
Okay.
Seal?
Well, if council wants to throw that in there, we currently don't have it in, but as a bed and breakfast, just for clarification to the applicant, that the applicant needs to be present during the rentals, then we put it as a condition.
I think at this time, I would like to see that until council opens up. We can debate that. We'll discuss that after, but it's something I would like to recommend until we open up some zoning bylaw reviews. Council, do you have any questions, other questions though for Laura and Joshua? Okay. Councillor Belanger, I see your beacon.
Not really any questions, just a comment about, this is something new that everybody's been saying. We don't have it in our bylaws as of yet, but it's something we're considering. So it's not that it's dead in the water today, but in the future, but it is today. So I think we would like to put it in as a condition for now. and then revisit it and let you know. And we can do that as staff and council, correct? Let them know that we have changed things or added things, or
Yeah, I think after a review has been done and a new bylaw has been instituted, we can definitely contact anyone that has this, that's looking to do a VRBO style, if it's approved, just to let them know that they go into new application process, I guess, right? Yeah, a new application process. So exactly, Councillor Belanger.
okay, great, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Robert has had his hand up.
Yeah, Robert, I'll get to you after. Sorry, Robert, I'll get you after. I just wanted to finish up with what council had to say to the, I'm saying your name wrong and I apologize. Botcher, okay. Council, anything? Yeah. Go ahead, Joshua, your hand's up.
Yes. What would be considered if we rent a house? What's the shortest lease agreement we could fulfill with a tenant? Like, traditional, it's a 1-year lease. Would a 6-month lease work, or a 3-month lease, like a traditional renting your house out situation?
Yeah, I think that would fall under rental property, which wouldn't be a bed and breakfast anymore. It'd be a whole different thing, correct?
Correct.
You would need different permits. You'd need RTCB.
Insurances in place.
Insurances in place. So falls under a completely different thing. So that might be a better question to ask Tanis separately, our planning officer. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I think that's all from council for you guys, so I appreciate it. I'll go, I'm lost in time here. Are we
Back to Robert.
back to Robert? Did you have questions for us to ask the applicant?
No, I'll wait till you go through the motions and share of letters received from the neighborhood and such.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Did we do in favor, in person, online, or on the phone, other than Laura and Joshua? Yes. I think there was no, yes, we did it. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Is there anything received in favor?
Nothing received in favor.
Okay, Josh, your hand's up again, or are you just, technologically declined like I am? So, yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, anyone wishing to speak against in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received against? Mike, Mitchell?
Hi.
Sure.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, you wanted to speak?
I just wanted to confirm that you had, in fact, my name is Michel Chartier. I'm with the law firm of Monk Goodwin. I believe you were provided with a copy of my letter dated yesterday.
What, would it be under your name, or would it be under?
It would be under the name of the law firm of Monk Goodwin, LLP. Tanis Klippenstein, who I believe is the planning officer, had indicated to me via email that council would be receiving a copy of it in advance of this evening's presentation.
Mr. Chartier, they do. It is under concern Huberdeau Catelier, for council's reference.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're the occupants, or they're the owners at 266 Calabash.
Right.
And I'm
okay, yeah, we have received it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that you had received it, and I'm here on a watching brief, but able to answer any questions that His Worship or council might have this evening. Other than that, the letter speaks for itself.
Okay, thank you. I know I appreciate that. Council has received it, and now that we know it's under a different name, not the law firm, we have reviewed it in our file. So I appreciate that. Council, do you have any questions for council? Council, do you have questions for council? No? Okay, no, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak against online? Go ahead, Mr. Dvorsky.
Sorry, I keep jumping. I'm waiting to just speak generically. They are friends. I'm not against, but I do have some opinions on the matter.
Okay, I'll entertain it now. You've been waiting patiently, so go ahead.
Okay, well, here we are again. We're in the development, one of a very exclusive development in Grand Point. One that even when I was building and calling into the municipality for information on taxes, properties and such, some expectations were set. There are several opinions in the neighborhood of no VRBOs or Airbnbs, but people are being quiet and respectful. No one wants conflict. I am glad that you did raise and remind everyone that that is a matter that council still has to discuss. So I'm not against it, but I'm not exactly for it. They do live a little bit further away. I'm glad that we cleared up the bed and breakfast versus the full rental. So I think this is a dead issue right now, but that's my only piece on it. Thank you. We do really need to establish that. And the big problem here in the grand development, not enough people are getting the formal notice. This is a one drive in, one drive out. Well, now two with Duchek. So 2 drive in, drive out. It's an exclusive neighborhood, and the 100-meter thing just doesn't work in our area. People like quiet. Whenever there's a car that's unknown, people are wondering about it. Having a continued rental would cause a concern in a development. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Any questions for Mr. Dvorsky? No, nothing. Okay, thank you very much. I see there is another hand up for, is it Lisa? Lisa Rosewell? Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, much like the other council, I just wanted to ensure that, well, I know that Tennis did receive my fairly lengthy email. And so I just want to also make sure that you've got that. And I thought the process was that council read out what the positions were in favor and objections. So I'm not sure if you're still planning to do that or if you just have them there for your own viewing.
So no, that's a great question. So it's decision of the chair, and the first public hearing, I said that we would not be reading anything out loud. So this evening, nothing is being read out loud. Council has received that prior to this meeting, so it's for their review. Not for public review anyway. Like, we are more than willing to share that information, but this is for council to review those letters. So I chose not to read those letters out loud tonight.
Okay, then I'd just like to make a few comments then based on the previous discussion. I think you've made it clear that a VRBO is not going to be entertained right now. I mean, based on the subsequent questions of the applicants in terms of, okay, well then we'll just make it a B&B. I'm glad that you're adding the condition about being explicit that they need to be in the residence, because as my submission indicated, that's my main concern. I mean, if somebody is there and they're, renting a room or a bed and breakfast or anything like that, but they're a resident in the home, then, the concerns that I raised are sort of moot if the resident is actually living there. So I just want to make sure that that's explicit, that that's the condition upon which a bed and breakfast would be approved. And then the second question that Joshua raised is, okay, if we want to rent out their house. So, I mean, they've made it clear that their intention is not to be in the house during the winter. I don't know what length of time that is, but they've been clear about that. So they're looking at ways of trying to rent out the residents. So you've said that that's a different process application. They need to talk to Tanis. So if they were to, and I don't know what the answers are. I mean, I presume, when your rental or something is permitted somewhere, I don't know if 6 months is, 3 months is. I know a short-term rental is under 30 days. So I don't know if anything over 30 days is considered something other than a short-term rental that might be considered. But my question is, whatever that application process is, would we then become aware of that? We, as in the residents, as Robert asked, we're not getting notices of these. It's like basically the property's right next door across the street. I'm 2 or 3 down, but I am still interested in it.
No, that's a great question. I'll pass it on to our administration.
Thank you. Clear answer is I'm not sure. I'd have to refer back to our zoning bylaw and see what the rentals are, if they're conditional use permitted, or what the, how to handle the situation with.
Okay, so you're going to check into that, and then how is the neighborhood going to know what the resolution of that is?
Well, it all depends on what the zoning bylaw states. If it's a permitted use, then there should be no notification. But I think what I could do in this case is still notify yourself as to the process, the correct process.
Okay, yeah, again, we just want to be aware. I mean, I did speak at I don't know how many council meetings ago, you know, about the granny suite, the same issue about VRBOs. So it's coming up continually. There is a VRBO in the Grand right now. It's being advertised on a site. So I would maybe suggest that, somebody look into that until you have all the guidelines. In my submission, I did try and paraphrase a variety of guidelines. So, I mean, that might be a start, but I'll leave it at that.
I appreciate it. And if you if you feel you want to, we do recommend you send us the information through our service tracker if you feel there is an illegal operation of any kind, so that we have actual documentation of someone reporting this. It's hard for council and administration to drive around and assume. So if you know of something, you're more than welcome to share it with us via the service tracker, or even email mayor@ritshot.com, and I can forward on to the necessary parties.
Okay. Thanks.
Anyone else wishing to speak against online? Anything received against?
Against and concerns, I think we've gone full circle with the concerns that there's no proper protocols for VRBOs, and trying to do the licensing accordingly, et cetera, looking into City of Winnipeg websites as well for those VRBOs or short-term rentals would be ideal for council to proceed with if they choose to do so.
Thank you. Okay, I will go around one more time. Anyone have any general comments, questions, speaking in favor, against, in person, online, or on the phone? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:43 PM. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Sheila? Councillor Pelletier?
Oh, she gave it. Somebody else.
Oh,
Well, maybe she's on her phone now.
somebody's hands raised. Go ahead. 99. Shannon's number, isn't it? So- Yeah, she got kicked out. She just texted me. Yeah, that's her number. Okay, her hand's raised because she's moving it. We can't hear you, Councillor Belanger. Send me a message on my phone if you have a question or comment. She can hear everything. She just doesn't know how she can participate. Go ahead, Mr. Dvorsky.
You should delay this. I feel our counselor for Grand Point should be fully in the meeting, not dropping in and out with internet problems. I ask that you move this to next month. Thank you.
I appreciate that. I won't be delaying it, but just, I appreciate the comment. Do you want to call, can we call her in?
She can try calling.
Yeah, Councillor Belanger, if you can hear me, give me a call. Or, is it better to call you? No, like the office number or no?
She can dial in, I think. Yeah.
She has, and it's not working, obviously.
But you're muted right now.
She said she can't
unmute yourself?
Shannon, call my cell number and I'll just put you on speaker. Okay, folks. You never take time off. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as loud as it gets. Council, can you hear? Good, yeah. Counselor Lemoine can hear you, so he's the farthest away. Did you have any questions or comments, Counselor Belanger, for anything that we went through?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, so I believe we had a mover, was it Counselor Pelletier? I'm looking for a second.
We have
You do?
Counselor Jason and Counselor Jenny.
Okay, Shannon, you seconded that, closing the public hearing?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so therefore be resolved that conditional use C 2024 was approved with the following conditions. And this is for consisting of a bed and breakfast. That the applicant shall comply with the municipal noise bylaw 4-2023. If your lighting is to be used, the applicant shall ensure that lighting levels do not cause any disruption or nuisance to the neighboring area or roadways. 3, any signage shall comply to the municipal zoning bylaw 9-2019, part 11. And 4, that the applicant shall provide a signed confirmation letter accepting the terms. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and any non-compliance may be caused to revoke the conditional use at any time.
Okay, I'll open up for council discussion debate. I know council had an item they wanted to add to the resolution. Councillor Blanche, did you have anything you want to add, ask, or comment on in case we lose you?
Well, the question about putting in the condition, again, have to be present during the rental period.
Yes, good question. So I believe Mr. CEO has written a item down. Did you want to read it out loud? Just
And if council allows me the luxury to fine tune it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But basically that the owner needs to be present for a bed and breakfast operation.
good with that, Councillor Belanger?
Yeah.
Perfect. Anything else from council? Comments?
You're gonna work on the wording on that tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the.
The gist, they need to be
General
home
intent.
when someone is
Renting.
utilizing the bed and breakfast.
Right.
Yeah.
Councillor Pelletier?
Trying to work the words in my head. That the applicant would be, that the conditional use would fall under a new bylaw. So that it can't get grandfathered in. So if we do change our zoning to allow for anything else, they wouldn't be grandfathered in as a bed and breakfast, and it'd be just wide open. They can do what they want. They would have to follow the rules, changing from a bed and breakfast to VRBO if they want.
I don't think that would.
But they would have to go through a new application process. If the way I see it being changed in the zoning bylaw, you're either adding an additional use to that table. And as part of that table, it would likely be a conditional use. So then all they would have to do is reapply for that new use because we don't have it right now.
He's saying that it's not grandfathered, that they have to go no matter what.
Oh, yes, yeah, not,
But we don't have to put that, but what I'm saying is that's not be a resolution. That's just it's
part of the process.
part of the process.
Or are you looking that if they get the bed and breakfast, that if
If the wording is not correct on any zoning bylaw change that we make, that could be a slide in.
as
My
a,
concern.
as,
Yeah.
or, but you don't want that?
Don't.
Okay, no, you can't, it won't happen that way.
Yeah.
The processes are in place.
Okay, Councillor Levon?
Yeah, just to go back and clarify, so the applicants are not withdrawing their application because they decided not to go because of a misdefinition, go the bed and breakfast route?
The applicants, we explained it.
Yeah.
The applicant said, okay, we will continue with the bed and breakfast. From what I recollect and what Laura said, Laura, if you're still there, confirm that you still want to continue with the bed and breakfast application before we continue this conversation. or Joshua.
Hi, yes, I'm still here. Yeah, well, I mean, either we would have to, if the VRBO comes into play, either way, we would have to do a new application, correct?
Yes, exactly. So at this time, we're looking at bed and breakfast or the Airbnb style where you would be on be inside your residence or on property during the time of rental. And you're okay with continuing with that process, correct?
Correct, sure, might as well, yeah, continue.
Makes sense, Councilor Lemon. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Anything else from council? No? Okay, I will call for the question. All those in favor?
I'm back. Yes, I'm in favor. I mean, I'm against. Sorry.
Okay, so I'll ask again, just to be clear, all those in favor? Councillor Belanger?
I'm against.
Oh, she's against. Okay, so opposed is Councillor Belanger, so that's 4-1. That's carried. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to 6.2.4 C15 2024 Armando Taves 2030 PTH 59.
The proposal is to allow a home industry business in the agricultural general zone consisting of equipment rentals, sales, and service.
I'll open the public hearing at 7:52 p.m. Is there anyone wishing to make presentation online, on the phone, or in person? Come on up, sir.
Yeah, so we are, sorry, Armando Taves. Bought the residence at 2030 PR 59 with already established business in Niverville. Wanted to leave Niverville because of the welcoming nature of the community towards businesses. So this property came about. We figured it was a good opportunity. We thought I personally wanted to live in the residence. We attempted it for a bit. Found out that the building on site is not very livable. So we do plan on building the early part of next year once our planning and all that goes through. But we do hope to run the business out of the same property, build a shop, and do some retail focused more on agricultural. And that's about it.
Council, do you have any comments or questions for Armando or Mr. Taves?
How big's the shop gonna be?
We plan on doing a 60 by 100, just to get to that 6,400 square feet without the additional.
Yeah. And this is just straight up just a rental tool?
Tool and equipment rental, and then doing the retail along with the shop.
Excellent. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor, in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against, in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received against?
Nothing received against.
Anyone, last call for final comments, questions, speaking in favor, against, online, on the phone, or in person? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 7:55 p.m. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnerchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine.
Blanche.
Belanger.
Therefore, be resolved that conditional use C15 2024 is approved with the following conditions. One, that this use shall not be noxious, offensive, or hazardous by reasons of emissions or production of odor, dust, refuse matter, waste, vapor, gas, smoke, vibration, or noise that shall create any nuisance beyond the property sightline. 2, there shall be no storage of hazardous liquids or materials or substances. 3, the applicant must comply with the municipal zoning bylaw 4-2023. 4, that any outdoor lighting must be located, arranged, or shielded so that no light is directed at any neighboring property. 5, that the applicant shall maintain the storage area for proper drainage and so not to affect the adjacent properties. 6, items stored outside shall be stored in a tidy manner, not to create any unsightly appearance. 7, that the applicant shall comply with the littering bylaws 5-2011. 8, that the signage shall comply with part 11 of the zoning bylaw 9-2019 as amended, and any requirements of Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure. 10, that the applicant is to obtain a building development permits for all CCANs currently being stored on the property as well. And 10, that the applicant shall sign a confirmation letter accepting the terms of the order. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and any non-compliance may be issues to cause revoke of this conditional use at any time.
Thank you very much. Open it for council debate and discussion. Council, anything to add, comment on?
Do we want to add the highway to item number 4? Relating?
Well, neighboring property, which would be any neighboring property.
Okay, anything else from council?
What I will do is say including items.
The friendly recommendation that the applicant put reach out on their trucks instead of Neverville now.
I don't know if the applicant heard that. Did you want to say that again, councilor?
Just a friendly request that the applicant put on reach out on their trucks instead of Neverville.
We will. Perfect.
That's awesome. You read no toxic hazardous liquid on site. Does that include diesel fuel? I'm sorry, gasoline as well? No. Okay.
Okay, nothing else from council? I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That's 4-0. Nothing from Councillor Belanger. That is carried. From Richot, we welcome you with open arms. So welcome to the group, and we hope to see your success for many years.
Awesome. Thank you
very much. Go enjoy the rest of your day.
Maybe we should stay. Speak again, sir.
No, you would.
Thank you.
That's true. I think that's it for public hearings, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, we're going into, does council need a break? Yeah, okay, we're gonna take a 3-minute pause here. Go ahead. Are you there? Get the text, it might be from her. Yeah, it is. This is brutal. I should have just said I won't be attending. Okay. Are you with us or no? Are you-
Yes, I'm here. I'm on my phone now. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're gonna continue. So we are in 8.1 bylaw 7/2024, naming road in Shane. Oh, no,
We gotta
sorry, we gotta go
backtrack
back up.
to
You're
number
right.
3.
You're number 3, adoption of the minutes. Do I have a mover? Counselor Lemoine, second, Counselor Bondarchuk.
Last council meeting was held June 19th, whereby we heard 2 delegations, 2 variations to conditional uses, a zoning amendment, which the public hearing will be coming up in August, subdivision, a speed zone request, as well as 2 Eco-West studies being done.
Thank you, Council.
I'll take my name off since it wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, that change. Okay.
Well, no, that's fine. If you feel comfortable with the minutes, that's okay.
Right, okay, that's it. Thanks.
Well, that name, okay.
Okay, anything else from council? No?
Same as Joanne.
We both were, but
You
I
can
know,
still- you can still move in second.
Yeah.
Minutes,
Oh, is that-
as long as you've reviewed it.
Okay, oh, no, that I did. Okay, that's good then.
You wouldn't be able to move or second anything from those minutes. Okay. Okay, okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Hi.
That's carried 5-all. Thank you.
4-0.
Oh, you abstained. Okay. 4-0. For committee reports and minutes, do I have a mover? Counselor Pelche, second.
Counselor
Blanche.
Blanchet.
Report submitted from Councillor Bodnar regarding the Reach Out Senior Services and the same Rat Roseau Watershed District. And Councillor Lemoine provided a report on the Rat River Health newsletter.
Thank you. Anything from council?
I did not submit the Seine River Watershed District. That would be
Counselor Pelche?
Pelche, yeah, Mr. Pelche, I believe.
No, not for June. That would have been the minutes that they sent out.
That's for me.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. I will remove that from the resolution.
Okay, with that change, council, any comments, questions? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's carried. Thank you. 5.1 accounts paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Counselor Bondarchuk, second. Counselor Lemoine.
As we did not have a meeting in early July, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batches. Note your attention to 18,857, the amount of 1.6 million, and 18,886, in the amount of 101,000. Summary batch report has been submitted to council for the 1.6. A lot of construction going on in regards to the daycares, Old Shane Main Street, the civic site, dust control, et cetera, et cetera. So no concerns regarding all those batches.
Perfect. Thank you. Council, any comments or questions?
No.
I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Hi.
That is carried. Thank you. 5.2 accounts not paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Counselor Pelche, second. Counselor Lemoine.
4 batches not paid, the biggest one being 18,904 in the amount of 323,000. Again, there are some construction projects underway in the office expansion.
Perfect. Any comments or questions from council? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. 5.2.1 council indemnities. Do I have a mover? Counselor Pelche, second. Counselor Blanchet.
Blanchet.
For the month of June, the mayor was quiet. However, the councilors, due to a conference in Calgary, the hours range anywhere between 45 to 77 hours for the month of June.
Just saving money for the people, you guys. That's it. Yeah. Any comments or questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried.
Aye.
It's carried. Thank you, 5-0. 5.3 payroll to be approved. I have a mover.
Counselor Blanchet?
Councillor Lemoine, Councillor Belanger.
Two payrolls, payroll 12 and 13. No concerns there. A little bit of overtime, but not too bad for Public Works. And the fire department quarterly number 2 also presented to council. No concerns there as well.
Perfect. Council, any comments, questions? No. Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried 4-0. Opposed? Sorry, opposed. I should ask. No, that's carried 4-0. No comment from council. 5.4 transfer funds, internal bank accounts. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bonner-Chuck, second. Councillor Pelletier.
As transparency to council, our CFO has transferred over a total of 982,000 into miscellaneous reserves from other reserves.
Thank you. Council, any comments, questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried 4-0. Thank you. And it's 5.5 CFO report. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second. Councillor Bonner-Chuck. Thanks.
Council has a report from our CFO ending June 30th with a very good explanation as to where the numbers are at. A couple of questions answered back and forth by the CFO. So far, things are pretty much on track.
Council, any comments or questions?
Thank you for making it so easy to read and understand. Fantastic, William.
Well done. Yes. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Councillor Belanger is not with us, so it's 4-0. Moving on to 8.1 bylaw 7/2024 naming road Neil Deshane first reading. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Bonner-Chuck. Mayor Christian Ray, right?
All right. Council has a copy of the proposed bylaw for first reading. On that, also a map, I believe, as to the road in question. It's basically a service road that runs along Highway 59, south of Ile des Chênes, and then veers off and joins Burnett, I believe. Proposed name change is to Roland Road.
Perfect. Council,
First reading.
First reading. Council, any comments, questions? Nope. Call for the question. All those in favor? Again, Boulanger is not here, so that's 4-0 carried. 9.1.1 water metering software and support. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second. Councillor Pelletier.
This is something that Public Works Utilities needed. I believe this was part of his budget in the past that he never got to, but now he got to it, and there's the price for it. Just under 50,000.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions?
I thought it was going to be more than that.
Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 9.1.2 Randolph Well Field and Water Treatment Facility upgrades. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bonner-Chuck, second. Councillor Pelletier. And just for the record, Councillor Belanger is no longer with us for tonight.
On that note, basically, the municipality of Richard is requesting or making an application to Manitoba Water Services for 50-50 cost sharing funding on this project.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions?
Oh, was that that pricing came from our study?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Call for the question. All those in favor? That's 4-0. Thank you. 9.1.3 tile drainage application. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second. Councillor Pelletier, thank you.
Not that we see a lot of these, but there's a farmer in the area wishing to do drain tiles. In doing so, you're bringing more water to the municipal ditch. As part of the process, it's wise to sign off on it accordingly. This was reviewed by our Public Works department, and they have no issues as long as we're not held liable for any adverse effects to the lights.
Perfect, thank you. Council, do you have any comments or questions? Nope. Just messaging Councilor Belanger if you want to jump back in. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None, that's carried. 9.2.1 fee waiver policy. Do I have a mover? Councilor Bondarchuk, second. Councilor Pelletier.
As discussed at the last recreation meeting with council, just want to review the fee policy.
Perfect. Council, open up for discussion, debate. We've all reviewed this. Questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. Thank you. 9.2.3 TCE lease agreement. Do I have a mover? 9.2.2. Sorry, special event policy. Do I have a mover? Councilor Lemoine, second. Councilor Pelletier.
Just going to test council's memory because it wasn't presented at the last recreation meeting, but the previous recreation council meeting, the rec director just forgot to put it on the agenda. So at the last time, so he's doing it now. So
Right.
You've seen it, but if you remember it, it's fantastic.
Perfect. Council discussion, debate? None. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 9.2.3 TCE lease agreement. Do I have a mover? Councilor Pelletier, second. Councilor Bondarchuk.
Again, TC lease agreement, one minor change, the one paragraph that they must submit a budget prior to the lease, and that is to be done in October. So that way, if there's any financial changes, that we can be aware of them and also maybe incorporate them in our own budget.
Thank you. Council comments, questions?
No, it's good. Other than that, that's the only change that we.
Okay. Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried 4-0. Thank you. And 9.2.4 Mid-Canada GFL disbursement of funds. Do I have a mover? Councilor Pelletier, second. Councilor Lemoine. Thank you.
Based on the financial report submitted by GFL, there is reason to divert some funds back to the municipality in the amount of almost 1.35 million. That money is to be redirected to the general reserve fund.
Thank you, council. I'll open up for council discussion, debate. Anything? Nope. Nope. That's good. Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried 4-0. Thank you. 9.2.5 June 2024 building permit reports. Do I have a mover? Councilor Bondarchuk, second. Councilor Lemoine. Thank you. Not a bad.
Total permits to date, for the month of June 18, total value of 1.9 million, total fees 7,800, bringing a total, total to June of 87,22 in value and 69,000, slightly down from last year's numbers of 119 at 34 million and 88,000. So
Thank you. Still not a bad year though, council. Any comments?
No, pretty safe considering where we're at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 9.2.6 development agreement 420 Main Street 101388518 Manitoba LTD. Do I have a mover? Councilor Bondarchuk, second. Councilor Pelletier.
okay. 420 Main Street, I believe, is almost ready to go. The development agreement is there in front of you. I just need to tweak the language a little bit on the development dedication fees on one of the schedules, but it's a minor wording change more than anything else. Our planning personnel has given you a Cole's cheat notes as to what the development agreement is all about. Pretty much standard for a development like this.
Perfect. Thank you. Council comments, questions?
Be nice to see a shovel in the ground.
I agree.
Perfect. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. Thank you. 9.2.7, 2024 tax sale reserve bid and designated officer. Do I have a mover? Counselor Bonnerchuk, second. Counselor Pelletier.
Almost on a yearly basis, there are also property taxes to be collected. This ensures that the municipality at least recaptures the amount of interest and taxes owing on the property if it does go to tax sale. So this is just a standard resolution to make sure that we at least recover those amounts and the costs of the sales process.
Perfect. Thank you. Council, any comments or questions?
I guess this can't get done as a policy, just because the dates change all the time.
Yes, the dates change all the time and yeah. Okay, could be investigated.
Okay, yeah.
Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried 4-0. Thank you. That takes us to adjournment. Item number 12. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second by Councillor Lemoine. Any final comments before we end the meeting? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Thank you for listening to my concerns earlier. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, Robert. I appreciate it. Have a good night. That was carried 4-0. And I will close the meeting at 8:18 p.m. Have a great night, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. You can stop recording.